What's up, guys? Higgins in Japan here with another edition of the Friday video. The Friday video is the video that I make right here in my car on the way home from work. And hey, guess what? This is real. We're back. We're back for Friday videos. Took a little bit of a break. Took a little bit of break to go on vacation. Went home to the States. Enjoyed a couple weeks home. Got to relax a little bit. And then came back and immediately started back into work. And so Friday videos have not been super regular. I've done a couple different things here and there, but we are back. And it's January, so the season's, like, it's not getting as dark as early as it used to be when we were back in December days. So I can get back to making these on the way home from work like I normally do. And now that long and drawn out intro is out of the way, let's get into this week's Friday video thing. And this week, first of all, I wanted to start off by saying thank you. If you follow me over on Twitter or on Facebook, I believe I posted it as well. There, I posted some cop action going on here. It's cop action going on. Not sure what's going on. Anyways, I posted a picture saying thank you for we hit 700. There's nobody else but me. 700 subscriptions here on YouTube, 200 likes over on the Facebook page, and 2,000 followers over on Twitter. So thank you guys. Thank you for everybody that subscribes and follows me on all the stupid social media things and goes on these adventures with me as we drive around police cars and hope that nothing terrible was happening. Yeah, so just wanted to say thank you guys. It's cool. I'm glad that you guys follow me and ask me tons of questions and message me with questions and all that good stuff. But yeah, so this year, who knows? Like I said at the end of last year, I wanted to change some things, and that's still in the process. I want to do more things that involve being creative with making videos and helping people that want to come to Japan with, you know, how to get here and what to do once you're here, and, you know, answer questions about, you know, certain topics and things like that. The problem is it's the end of the semester, and so in Japan, if you're teaching in Japan at the end of the semester, either you're really busy trying to get review lessons in, or trying to get students caught up on certain, you know, things, like maybe you got kids that need more practice, you know, especially third-year students in junior high that are going to be, you know, already taking tests to get, you know, entrance exams into high school. Maybe some of them want to do extra practice, so you might have to be doing, you know, extra things outside of class other than just sitting at your desk being a bum. But yeah, so the whole end of the semester thing has left me rather busy. So, like, doing things that involve me being more creative are going to take some time. So hopefully this year, who knows, the way that schedules go and things change and people and places and locations, there are things that I want to do. So bear with me on that. But yeah, so I did make a Friday video last week and didn't put it out just because the front-facing camera that you guys always see, for whatever reason, decided it wasn't going to record, and then I turned around and was just going to upload just the regular, like, front-facing camera video, but I just decided not to. So I'll just quickly cover what I talked about in that video and a couple other things, and then we'll call it a day, and you guys can enjoy your weekend. A couple of things I was going to talk about in the Friday video was just kind of some things that I realized or noticed that coming back from the States, because a lot of times people always ask me, oh, is there anything you miss from America? But there's also things that I just forget, like things that aren't important. You just realize, oh yeah, that's a thing in the States. One of the big things was So I flew into Toronto first, and then flew from Toronto to Philadelphia. And when I got to Toronto, I realized that like I'd forgotten that soda comes in containers bigger than like a 500 milliliter, bottle that you normally get at the convenience store. I walked past this like this little kiosk thing at the oh, is this an accident? Do we have an accident up here? What's going on? No, we're just parked on the sidewalk. All right, that works too. Anyways, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So I walked past this kiosk, and there's soda and different kinds of drinks and stuff, and they were huge. Like, I'm sorry, huge. They were huge. And it just like took me for a second, because I was like, oh, that's right, that's a thing. Like, you can get like large size drinks anywhere other than Japan. The other thing was, I went to go get my hair cut. Pretty good job. Went to get my hair cut, and I'm sitting there just kind of, I walk in the door, I say hi to the lady that's, there's a couple ladies cutting hair. I say, hey, what's up? They're like, oh, it's going to be a couple minutes, there's somebody in front of you. I was like, hey, no problem, whatever. And I go and sit down, and there's like another lady in the waiting room, but she's reading a magazine or whatever. And then, like, the door opens, and this dude walks in, and he's like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm here to get my hair cut. And the ladies are like, oh, that's cool, whatever. I guess he's a regular, whatever, because they knew him by name, and he was asking for somebody specifically to cut his hair. And then, like, he sits down like 2 or 3 seats away from me, and I'm still kind of in my own little, like, world, like, doing my own little thing. I didn't have, like, headphones in or anything, so it wasn't like I was like, don't talk to me. But, like, dude just, like, out of nowhere starts talking to me. And for a second, I was like, excuse me? Like, what? You're talking to me? Like, what? Because here's the thing. When you're on, like, public transportation in Japan, or when you're in, like, you don't talk to anybody. Like, nobody talks to you. It's great, actually, because, like, you don't have to worry about, like, trying to talk to random people about the weather. Like, I don't care. I know that it's cold outside. But that sounds really terrible. But, like, sometimes you're just like, I just want to ride the train in peace. And, like, Japan's great for that. Like, because you can just ride the train in peace. And, man, like, so this dude starts talking to me. And, like, he was nice and everything. I'm not saying that he was, like, a jerk or whatever. But it took me back again. Like, the sodas, like, oh, that's right. Like, random people like to strike up conversations with you. And, like, it kind of made me think about, like, all the people here in Japan that, like, complain about, oh, nobody ever talks to me on the train. Like, Japanese people, like, don't sit near me, and they don't, like, I want to have conversations with people on the train for whatever reason. But it goes to, like, the whole fact that, like, there's the stereotype of, like, how Americans are, loud and obnoxious and whatever. And, like, we just like to talk. And so, like, if you see somebody on the train and you're not used, or you can't speak their language, there's this fear of, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to sit next to this person, and they could possibly try to talk to me, and I don't speak anything other than, like, I have a pen. Like, so I understand that fear of not wanting to sit next to foreigners on the train. I mean, I don't want to sit next to foreigners on the train, and for that exact reason. So there were those couple of things. There were some other things on. I made, like, a list of things, but whatever, they're not important, and they weren't, like, they're not things of me complaining, like, oh, America, blah blah blah, this or that. Like, it was just things that I just kind of had forgotten about, how things work in America. But so no, it's good to be back in Japan. It's good to finish up this semester. We've got, like, well, at this point it's the end of January. Holy cow. Like, this is the last Friday in January, actually. So we have, like, a month and a half left of school, because they graduate, like, the second week of March. So yeah, graduation's coming up real soon here. So, and word of warning, if you're a teacher, like, this is the time that if you have any compassion in your body, if you have any, like, anything towards your students, this is the time, because I'm telling you, third year students can get super stressed out this time of year, because it comes down to them taking their exams they're like placement exams. I mean, they are placement exams. Like, depending on the score that you get, determines whether or not you can get into the high school that you want to get into. It's kind of like, your college, if your college required you to take, some kind of exam to get into it. Like, that's what this is. Like, that's like, you've got students that are gonna be super stressed out, especially if they didn't study, if they haven't been studying all year, if they haven't, been putting forth the effort. Like, this time of year, man, like last year, there were a couple kids that were just kind of on the edge of just not losing it. But I mean, you could definitely see it. So as a teacher, if you have any compassion for your students whatsoever, if you're not just here for your 1 year vacation so you can say that you lived in Japan, this is the time of year that you're going to need to maybe show a little extra, maybe not be so strict with your students. Which, I mean, heck, if you're an ALT, there's no reason for you to be strict in the first place, because you're not a real teacher. So, I mean, like, there's nothing for you to be strict about anyways. But, like, yeah, just watch for students that definitely are struggling, because it's gonna happen no matter what school you're at. So there's that. Last thing I want to talk about is the weather here in Japan. It's not snowing. It hasn't been snowing, and as far as I know, it didn't snow. But we talked, and I say we because I was on episode 142, I believe, 142 of the Just Japan podcast. I keep showing up. I'm like, I just won't go away. Like, you can fill in the blank as to what you think that is, but I just keep showing up. And so, yeah, so if you're interested in what it's like experiencing winter here in Japan, you can listen to myself and Kevin and James from the ALT Insider website /podcast. We all talked about surviving winter here in Japan, what you can do, what you can look forward to experiencing weather here in Japan, or winter weather here in Japan. Oh, and I do want to mention one thing about James's website /podcast. If you are interested in coming to Japan and teaching here in Japan, I highly suggest going to his website and checking out his podcast. Some of his stuff is geared towards JET, but a lot of his stuff, it doesn't really matter. I really, really wish that there was a resource, and maybe I just wasn't looking for the right thing at the right time when I came over here, or before I even came over here. Maybe I just wasn't looking for the right, key phrases to search for. But, man, I really wish that there had been some sort of website like his, or some kind of, he even does, resume, he'll go over your resume for you type stuff. He provides that service as well. And does, interview practices, all this crazy stuff that I wish I didn't know about, or things that I didn't even know existed. I don't even think they existed. But he's got a really cool website. He does, blog articles, as well as a podcast and videos and web seminars. Is that what that's called? Anyways, really, really good resource. And like I said, I wish there would have been something like that to kind of prepare me for teaching in Japan. Not that it's a super difficult job, but he does provide a lot of information, and he's been here for a while, and he's gone through different modes of teaching, whether it be Eikaiwa or JET. Maybe he was JET. I think he was JET maybe for a little bit. I don't know if he was JET. I don't know. But he's done a lot here in Japan. So definitely, check out Just Japan podcast episode 142, and then also check out his website as well, because it's got a lot of really good resources. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Friday video thing. I hope you enjoyed watching it, or listening to it, or just listening to me ramble, because quite honestly, I'm not even sure what, if any, of this made any sense. So, I mean, that's what you get with these videos, right? So, it's good to be back in Japan. It's good to finish up this year. Hope that you guys have a good weekend and have a safe, whatever it is that you're doing. And I will catch you guys later. As always, head over to facebook.com/Higgins in Japan. If you have any questions for me, you can post them down in the comment section below. Thank you again for subscribing and liking and sending comments. It really means a lot to me. I started this years ago, and the fact that I have like 700 people subscribed to my channel and like 2,000 people following me on Twitter for whatever reason, because I mostly talk about crap, like, it's really cool, and I really appreciate it, and thank you guys so much. Have a good one, and I will catch you later. Peace.